Have you ever leaned in for a hug only to notice someone subtly pulling away? Or perhaps you've caught a faint, unfamiliar scent and wondered, could that be me? For many older adults, a persistent and mysterious body odor can feel like a secret shame, one that no amount of regular showering seems to solve. Today on Golden Years Balance, we're diving deep into a surprisingly solvable issue, the distinctive old person smell. And more importantly, how you can eliminate up to 99% of it without expensive products or harsh scrubbing, just by giving a little extra attention to 6 often overlooked areas of the body. What we're about to explore isn't just science, it's heart. It's about dignity, confidence, and helping you or someone you love feel fresh, respected, and truly comfortable in their own skin. Stick with me through this journey, because by the end of this video, you'll understand how simple, mindful hygiene can not only transform how others experience you, but how you experience yourself. Number 1, behind the ears, the forgotten pocket of odor. Let me tell you about Walter. Walter is one of those men who always took pride in his appearance. At 79, he still wore crisp shirts, polished shoes, and always had a handkerchief neatly folded in his front pocket. He smelled of old-school cologne and lavender aftershave. He took care of himself. But something changed. One Sunday afternoon, his granddaughter came over. As always, she ran up for a big hug. Walter lived for these moments. But this time, she froze mid-embrace and turned her head away. She wrinkled her nose. "Grandpa, you smell kind of weird." Walter was stunned. He hadn't missed a bath in decades. He used deodorant, cologne, antibacterial soap. What was going on? He asked me to help him figure it out. We went through his hygiene routine, step by step, and finally we found the invisible culprit, one that so many people overlook, especially as they age. He hadn't washed behind his ears in years. Not once. Now, before you roll your eyes, think about your own routine. We scrub our armpits, we brush our teeth, we wash our hair, but behind the ears, it's one of those places we often forget, and it turns out it's one of the most important. You see, the skin behind the ears has a dense concentration of sebaceous glands. Those are the oil-producing glands of the skin. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, but the oil production doesn't necessarily stop. In fact, it can become more concentrated in small, forgotten pockets like behind the ears. That oil mixes with sweat, dead skin cells, and environmental grime. And when it builds up, it creates a perfect little breeding ground for bacteria and yeast. The result, a musty, sour, or stale smell that no amount of cologne can cover up. Worse, if you wear glasses or hearing aids, they can trap heat and moisture in that area, making it even more prone to odor. But here's the good news. This is an easy fix. Every day, take a warm, damp washcloth and gently wipe behind your ears. Not a full-on scrub, just a gentle swipe to remove oils and dead skin. And once or twice a week, use a mild cleanser or a little soap. Rinse thoroughly and dry well. That's it, just a few seconds a day, but it makes a world of difference. For Walter, this small change was life-changing. A week later, he called me up. "My granddaughter hugged me again today," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "No grimace, no turning away. Just a smile. I nearly cried." This story might seem small, but these little moments matter, especially as we age. Our confidence can take a real hit when we feel like we're losing control of our bodies. But hygiene, real hygiene, isn't about looking good. It's about dignity. It's about feeling fresh, being huggable, and knowing that the people you love can come close without hesitation. And that brings us to a larger point. Aging doesn't mean giving up. It just means adjusting. When we're younger, our bodies work faster, we sweat differently, our skin renews more quickly. But as we grow older, we need to be more intentional with our care, more mindful of the places we overlook. Behind the ears might seem like a silly place to start, but that's exactly why it's powerful, because the little things we ignore are often the ones that make the biggest difference. And when you start paying attention to one small part of your body, it reminds you to take better care of the rest. So tonight, when you wash your face, take one extra second. Reach behind your ears, feel that smooth skin. Know that you're taking care of something important, something others might not see, but that quietly influences how the world responds to you. And if you're a caregiver or family member helping a loved one with their hygiene, remember this gentle area too. Especially if they wear glasses or struggle with mobility. a warm cloth, a soft touch, a caring hand. These are acts of love that go deeper than just cleaning. Walter's story is not just about odor, it's about the hidden spaces in our lives that need attention, kindness and care. And it all starts with awareness. Sometimes the smallest changes bring the sweetest hugs. Number 2, the nape of the neck, a hidden crossroads. Ruth was 76 when she first came to me, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know how to say this," she said, eyes lowered, "but there's this smell. I clean myself every day. I don't know where it's coming from." I reassured her this was more common than she thought. Many older adults begin to notice subtle, persistent body odors that don't seem to respond to their usual hygiene habits. Ruth was meticulous. She showered daily, used high-quality soaps and wore clean clothes, yet something still lingered. The answer lay in one of the most overlooked areas of the body, the nape of the neck. This unassuming patch of skin, right at the back of your neck where your hairline begins, is more than just a resting place for the collar of your shirt. It's a hidden crossroads where sweat, natural oils from the scalp, and dead skin cells meet and mingle. For people with longer hair or those who frequently wear collared shirts, the area becomes even more of a trap. Unlike underarms or feet, the nape doesn't always feel sweaty or dirty. There's no sticky sensation, no visible grime, but it's one of the first places people come into close contact with during hugs, haircuts, or even casual conversation. The result? A faint but persistent odor that might go unnoticed by the person themselves, yet is detectable to others. In Ruth's case, her carefully chosen lavender-scented soaps weren't the issue. It was the fact that this particular area wasn't receiving the attention. It's why this happens more as we age. As we get older, our skin's ability to regenerate slows down. Dead skin cells linger longer. The production of natural oils shifts. For some, these oils become heavier or more waxy. For others, there's dryness. But dryness doesn't mean clean. In fact, when mixed with environmental dust or fabric fibers, dry skin can still harbour odour-causing particles. In older adults, posture changes, like a forward-leaning neck, can also cause the nape to become more of a crease, trapping moisture and warmth. It's a subtle shift that often goes unnoticed, but it can make a big difference in airflow and cleanliness. I advised Ruth to approach her showers with more intention. The nape of the neck shouldn't just be rinsed. It needs gentle but thorough cleansing. Use a soft washcloth or loofah, not just your hands. Apply mild, non-drying soap and focus on slow circular motions. Pay attention to where the hairline meets the skin. Be especially thorough if you use hair products, as residue often slides down to this area without being noticed. After the shower, pat the area completely dry. Don't rub, especially if your skin is sensitive, but don't leave it damp either. Moisture that gets trapped under collars or long hair can undo all your cleansing efforts. If possible, let the area air dry for a few minutes before putting on clothing. For those with mobility issues, a handled back brush can also work well to reach this spot without strain. Ruth followed the advice. Within just a week, she returned, smiling. "The smell is gone," she said. "I feel like myself again." This simple discovery transformed her confidence. She no longer avoided hugging her grandchildren or pulling her hair up into a bun. What seemed like a minor shift in her hygiene routine became a doorway to renewed self-esteem. What this experience taught me, and what I want to share with you, is that odour doesn't always come from where we expect. Sometimes the places we can't see or don't think to check are the biggest contributors. The nape of the neck is quiet, unassuming, and often overlooked, but it plays a crucial role in how fresh we feel and how we're perceived by others. Especially in our later years, as our bodies change, it's important to adapt our care routines with curiosity and kindness. Take a moment during your next shower to tend to this hidden area. It only takes a minute, but the results might surprise you. Number 3, skin folds, the silent traps. Let's take a moment to talk about something that's often overlooked, yet deeply personal and surprisingly common. It's not glamorous, and most people avoid discussing it even with their closest friends or doctors. We're talking about skin folds, those soft, warm creases under the breasts, around the belly, behind the knees, or between the thighs. These areas, while perfectly natural, can become silent traps for discomfort, odour, and even serious health issues if not cared for properly. Skin folds are more than just indentations of the body. They are warm, often moist environments that create the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, fungi, and yeast. The result? Unpleasant odors, persistent itching, redness, and in more severe cases, painful rashes or skin infections. And the problem intensifies as we age. Let me introduce you to Patricia, a 72-year-old retired school principal. Graceful, intelligent, and always impeccably dressed, Patricia never imagined that something as hidden as skin folds could interfere with her self-esteem. Every summer, she noticed a faint but persistent scent she couldn't shake, especially under her breasts. She changed her detergent, switched soaps, even aired out her clothes. But the issue lingered. Eventually, it began to make her feel self-conscious around friends and family. It wasn't until a routine visit to her doctor that she found the answer. The culprit? Sweat and bacteria fermenting quietly in the folds of her skin. Patricia was stunned and then relieved. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She simply needed a different kind of care. So what can we learn from Patricia's story? The skin in our folds is delicate and sensitive. When it's constantly exposed to friction, trapped sweat, and heat, it doesn't just feel uncomfortable, it begins to break down. That breakdown invites microbes to flourish, which leads to body odor, irritation, and that sticky, uncomfortable feeling many people silently endure. Here's a doctor-recommended solution, one that's simple but incredibly effective. Daily gentle cleaning. Start by washing these areas gently with warm water and a mild, fragrance-free cleanser. Avoid harsh scrubbing. It can damage the skin barrier and make irritation worse. Thorough drying. This step is key. Pat, not rub the skin dry with a clean, soft towel. Make sure no moisture lingers, especially in deeper folds where air circulation is low. Some people even use a hairdryer on a cool setting to ensure complete dryness. Moisture management. Apply a talc-free powder to keep the area dry. Talc can be harmful if inhaled, so always go for cornstarch-based or dermatologist-approved alternatives. For those who prefer a more modern approach, moisture-wicking cloth pads, similar to nursing pads, can be gently tucked under the breasts or in the groin area. These absorb sweat and reduce friction throughout the day. Clothing choices matter. Loose-fitting, breathable fabrics like cotton or bamboo help the skin breathe. Avoid synthetic materials that trap heat and moisture. Nighttime care. If nighttime sweating is an issue, change into a fresh, dry shirt before bed. Consider sleeping with a soft cloth between folds to keep the area dry. Monitor for changes. If you notice persistent redness, itching, or an unusual smell, consult your doctor. Sometimes what seems like a minor skin issue could be a fungal infection or intertrigo, both of which are treatable but need proper care. What's most important is to remember, there is no shame in skin folds. Our bodies change with age, and these changes deserve respect, attention, and kindness, not embarrassment. Patricia now feels empowered, not only because she solved her issue, but because she learned how to care for her body in a deeper, more thoughtful way. For many older adults, a small change in routine, adding just 5 extra minutes of care each morning, can dramatically improve comfort, hygiene, and confidence. It's not about vanity, it's about self-respect. It's about honoring the body that has carried you through decades of living. So the next time you towel off after a shower, take a little extra time, check in with your body, be gentle, be thorough, your skin will thank you, and so will your peace of mind. Number 4, scalp and hairline, where odor lurks underneath. Howard, 68, had always taken pride in his grooming routine. He wasn't someone who skipped showers or forgot to wash his hair. But recently he started noticing something strange. His head didn't smell fresh, even right after bathing. It wasn't overpowering, but it was there, an odd, sour smell that lingered. For a while he blamed his pillowcases, then thought maybe it was his hat. But the smell persisted, and finally, during a routine checkup, he sheepishly brought it up to his doctor. The surprising answer? He wasn't washing his scalp, just his hair. This is more common than you might think, especially as we age. Many people, especially older adults, assume that running shampoo through their hair is enough. But the truth is, hair is not what gets dirty. The scalp is. It's living, breathing skin. And just like your face or underarms, it sweats, sheds dead cells, produces oil and traps dirt. Over time, If that buildup isn't addressed properly, it can create a perfect environment for bacteria and fungi to thrive, and with that comes odor. And for older adults, there are a few reasons why this issue can become even more noticeable. As we age, our scalp's oil production changes. Some people produce less oil, resulting in dryness and flaking, while others may see an increase in sebum that traps bacteria. Combine that with thinning hair, which provides less of a barrier between the scalp and the air, and you've got more exposure for odours to escape. Add in the fact that many seniors wear hats or wigs to protect from sun or cold, and you've now got a warm, moist environment where sweat and oil get trapped and linger. So how do we deal with this? It's simpler than you think, but it requires intentional care, not just habit. Start treating your scalp like you treat your face. When you shampoo, don't just lather and rinse. Use your fingertips, not your nails, and take time to gently massage your scalp in small circular motions. This stimulates circulation, helps loosen dead skin and oils, and ensures the shampoo actually reaches your skin, not just your hair strands. Focus especially around the temples, hairline, and the nape of the neck, where sweat and oil tend to accumulate. These are the spots we often rush past or miss altogether. It's also crucial to rinse thoroughly. Shampoo residue left behind can trap dirt and odour over time. Take an extra minute to make sure the scalp is clean and product-free. And once you're out of the shower, gently pat your hair and scalp dry. If you're using a towel that hasn't been changed in a while, you could be reintroducing bacteria onto a clean scalp without even realising it. Want to go a step further? Consider using a scalp exfoliating brush or gentle scrub once or twice a week. These are designed to lift dead skin cells and clean deeper into the follicles. But make sure it's gentle, no harsh scrubbing that can irritate aging skin. Howard started doing this simple routine, massaging his scalp daily, rinsing well and drying properly. And within a week, he noticed a huge difference. Not only did the smell vanish, but his scalp felt fresher, less itchy, and he even thought his hair looked healthier. It's a small change that can make a big impact, not just on odour, but on overall scalp health and comfort. So the next time you shower, pause and think, am I really cleaning my scalp or just the hair that covers it? Because sometimes the biggest changes come from the places we least expect, like just under your hat. Number 5. The belly button, the central secret. It started as a joke. One quiet Sunday morning, Leonard and his wife were enjoying their usual routine: coffee, the newspaper, and gentle teasing about each other's odd habits. That's when she asked, half jokingly, "When's the last time you cleaned your belly button?" Leonard chuckled. "What, my belly button? Who even cleans that?" She raised an eyebrow. "Exactly." At first, he laughed it off, but later that day, standing in front of the bathroom mirror, curiosity got the better of him. He leaned forward, lifted his shirt, and took a closer look. To his surprise and slight horror, his navel looked a bit darker than it should. It didn't hurt, but there was something off. He touched it and noticed a faint but persistent musky odour. That was the moment it hit him. He honestly couldn't remember the last time he had cleaned his belly button. Years? Decades? Like many people, Leonard had always assumed that water running down his body in the shower was enough. After all, it's such a small, forgotten place. Out of sight, out of mind. But as it turns out, the belly button can quietly become a hidden reservoir for dirt, dead skin cells, sweat, soap residue, and bacteria. If left unattended, this mixture can cause unpleasant smells, or worse. A quick internet search brought Leonard to medical forums and health websites where he discovered he wasn't alone. Doctors and dermatologists often refer to the belly button as one of the most commonly neglected body parts, especially in older adults. Why? Because as we age, our skin folds become deeper. Our hygiene routines sometimes get a little simpler, and flexibility isn't what it used to be. All of this can make it easy to overlook these hidden areas. Dr. Sandra Klein, a geriatric dermatologist, explains, the belly button, particularly in adults over 60, can become a silent source of infection or odour if it's not properly cleaned. It's a warm, moist environment, perfect for bacteria and yeast. In some cases, it can even develop a yeast infection or become inflamed, a condition called omphalitis. That name sounded scary to Leonard. Omphalitis? From not cleaning a belly button? He shuddered. But the good news? Prevention is simple. Doctor's tip. Use a soft cotton swab dipped in warm water or saline solution while showering once or twice a week. Gently swirl it inside the navel without pushing too deep. After cleaning, make sure to pat the area completely dry. Dryness is key. Moisture can encourage bacteria to thrive. For those with deeper belly buttons or who sweat more than average, it's helpful to occasionally use a diluted antiseptic solution, like hydrogen peroxide or witch hazel, with your doctor's guidance. If mobility is an issue, handheld shower mirrors or soft silicone brushes can help with visibility and reach. Leonard decided to give it a try that night. Armed with a cotton swab and a warm washcloth, he gently cleaned the area. It wasn't painful, but the swab definitely picked up some grime. He felt strangely satisfied, like finding dust in a forgotten drawer and finally wiping it clean. A small act of self-care, long overdue. Over the next few weeks, Leonard made this tiny ritual part of his routine. Not only did the musky smell disappear, but he also started feeling better overall. "It's funny," he told his wife later, "you take care of what you can see, but it's the places you forget that need the most love." She smiled. Welcome to the Clean Belly Button Club. As we grow older, our health depends not just on the big things like diet or exercise, but on the little habits that add up over time. Taking a moment to clean often forgotten areas like the belly button might seem trivial, but it's part of respecting your body, honouring your health, and maintaining dignity through aging. So the next time you step into the shower, ask yourself, have I cleaned my central secret today? It only takes a minute, but the impact, both physically and emotionally, can last far longer. Number 6, the groin area, a matter of dignity. Among all the areas we've discussed so far, the groin region remains one of the most sensitive, both physically and emotionally. It's private, it's personal, and for many, it can also be a source of great embarrassment when hygiene becomes a challenge. Yet it's precisely this area that demands our utmost attention, because neglecting it can quietly erode not just our physical comfort, but also our sense of self-respect. Let's talk openly. The groin is a warm, moist, and naturally folded area of the body. These characteristics make it the perfect breeding ground for odor-causing bacteria, fungi, and yeast. And as we age, our skin changes, becoming thinner, more fragile, and more prone to irritation or infection. Sweat and moisture can easily become trapped in these folds, especially if mobility is limited or if incontinence is an issue. Over time, without proper care, the buildup can lead to persistent odors, rashes, itching, or worse, fungal infections like jock itch or candidiasis. What's more, many older adults struggle to properly clean and dry this area, especially if they experience stiffness, arthritis, or reduced flexibility. Some are too embarrassed to ask for help. Others may not even realize that what they attribute to laundry detergent, diet, or a medical condition is in fact a simple hygiene issue. From my years of clinical experience, I can't count how many patients have suffered in silence, unaware that the persistent odour they've tried to mask with cologne, dryer sheets, or herbal teas had a much simpler solution: thoroughly cleaning and drying the groin area. So let's break it down clearly. Doctor's tip: keep it simple, gentle, and consistent. Start by using a fragrance-free hypoallergenic soap, something mild that won't irritate delicate skin. During your shower or bath, gently wash the entire groin region, including the inner thighs and the skin folds around the genitals. Don't scrub harshly. Instead, use your hand or a soft washcloth with warm water to loosen and lift away sweat, dead skin, and bacteria. But here's where most people miss the mark: drying. After washing, dry thoroughly. Moisture left behind, especially in the skin folds, is a recipe for bacterial growth. Pat the area dry with a clean, high, soft towel, never rub, and make sure to get into the creases. If sweating is a problem, and it often is as we age or during warmer seasons, consider switching to breathable cotton underwear. Synthetic fabrics tend to trap heat and moisture, while natural fabrics allow air circulation. Moisture-wicking powders, specifically formulated for the groin area, can also help, especially for those prone to chafing. A light dusting of cornstarch can be a gentle, natural alternative, but be sure to apply it only when the skin is completely dry. Some people may also find it helpful to change their underwear twice a day, once in the morning and again in the evening, especially if they experience night sweats or are physically active. For those dealing with incontinence, cleanliness in the groin area becomes even more vital. Disposable underwear should be changed regularly, and the area should be cleaned gently after each episode. Barrier creams or ointments can protect the skin from irritation caused by urine or stool. Remember, cleanliness here is not just about avoiding smell, it's about protecting the skin and preserving your dignity. And that word, dignity, matters. So many older adults struggle silently, feeling shame or discomfort about changes in their body that are perfectly natural. But we can change that narrative. Taking care of the groin area isn't something to be embarrassed about. It's an act of self-respect. It's part of maintaining comfort, health, and a sense of personal control in a phase of life where many things feel uncertain. If you're a caregiver, this is also an important reminder. Approach this task with sensitivity and compassion. Maintaining someone's hygiene in this intimate area is not just a chore, it's a gift of respect, comfort, and love. In conclusion, while the groin area may be the most private, it is also the most deserving of care. Cleanliness here goes far beyond just preventing odor. It helps prevent infections, preserves skin integrity, boosts confidence, and maintains a deep sense of dignity and pride, something we all deserve at every age. The truth is, this conversation goes far beyond hygiene. It's about reclaiming something deeply personal, your confidence, your sense of presence, and most of all, your dignity. As we age, we gain so much. Wisdom carved from experience, resilience built through storms, and a compassion that only time can teach. But aging also brings a quiet silence around certain topics, especially those that feel uncomfortable or taboo. I've met so many wonderful people, kind, generous, deeply loved, who quietly pull away from hugs or avoid social gatherings. Not because they want to be alone, but because of an unspoken fear. What if I smell? That quiet worry creates distance. It chips away at self-worth. But today, we've chosen to end that silence. We've talked about the hidden places on our bodies that often go unnoticed, but make all the difference. Because you deserve more than just cleanliness. You deserve confidence, intimacy, and the joy of being fully present. You deserve to feel fresh every day. You deserve to be embraced without hesitation. You deserve to stand tall without second guessing. In healthcare, we often focus on the big things, diagnoses, medications, surgeries, but sometimes it's the smallest daily habits that have the most profound impact. The 5 minutes you take to gently clean those 6 areas, they could give you back a lifetime of hugs, laughter, closeness, and the simple joy of feeling truly alive. At Golden Years Balance, we believe aging should be a journey of grace, not shame. Your later years are your golden years, rich in love, in community, and in dignity. So if this video helped you, leave a comment below. Share your thoughts or your story. We truly read every single one. And if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and click the bell. Let's grow older, together, wisely and beautifully. Until next time, stay clean, stay kind, and take care of one another.